This tutorial, I explained how to create a basic floor plan using SketchUp for Schools, and this goes on from that instruction. So about halfway through that tutorial, you would have got to this stage where you've used the offset button and the line tool to create lines where you want your windows and doors to go and interior walls. Just make sure that you delete off any links in the lines like this in the walls, so the walls all join up with each other. So when we raise the walls up, they'll all come up together, which makes things a lot easier. Now, another thing that is really good to do is actually place in to SketchUp all of your furniture and everything before the walls come up. I would actually add textures. Click on, which is this brick here, and the magnifying glass takes you to all these exciting textures in here. I like to use things like the wood texture. This is quite a modern looking texture, which I like. And there's all sorts of things in there you can use. Stone, you wanted to add like a stone flooring, you could do that. Okay, more tiles. Once you've done that, if you go back to the triple bic and you can type in some different things that you could add into your SketchUp model, import them in. When they first come in, you can drag them using this cross tool. What you want to do is actually rotate them then and there. If you hover over the top with this move tool, you hover over the top and 4 red crosses come up. If you hover over one of those, you can actually rotate it around straight away. Now sometimes your product will end up way out in the stratosphere in the green space out here, and you'll have to go and on a little search and find it. If that happens, you just have to keep rotating around to get it into the right position and make sure it's actually on the ground. Sometimes they don't come in at ground level. I'm going to rotate that around. You can raise those walls up using the push-pull tool. That's my 210 high. Sorry, 2100 high. High you want the base, like the wall below the window to be. And do that on all of your windows. And then you can actually rotate around, make sure that everything's nice and clean. You can actually push windows through walls, and I'll show you how to do that in a sec. Doing it this way is just handy if you've already done a floor plan. You can actually draw the top and drag that across. Now that you've done that, you have a window frame. A very basic way to put glass in is to draw a square straight over the top. Use the push-pull tool to push that in halfway, which is 100 mil. Go back to textures, click on glass. And there we have a window that we can actually see through, which looks pretty groovy. Window straight through a wall. Use your measuring tape to mark out your measurements. Draw the rectangle where you want the window to go. Use the push-pull tool to push the window in and type in the exact width of the wall. In my case it's 200 millimeters. Return or enter. Then it's the same process to draw the window in and push it halfway into the wall, so 100 mil. You can then use the glass texture to colour it. I'm now going to show you how to add doors from the warehouse onto your model. Go to the warehouse button, type in the type of doors that you are after. Try and get them in almost the right spot on your model. You can then use the scale tool to scale it into position. To scale it from that end. One thing that you can do is if you go to the scenes view, click on the front view, and that gives you, you can actually get an exact straight on view of the front to make sure that you've got the exact height. Before you do a floor on a roof, by the way, it's actually really helpful to group everything that you've done. So select it all, right click and make group. If you're going to edit this, you actually have to click explode. So right click on it again to explode it. If you don't group it, anything you do will link to what you've done. Now I like to add a bit of thickness to the floor in my models. Just makes them look more realistic, rather than having a paper thin floor. Make it as thick or as thin as you like. With the roof, you just draw a box straight over the top. I'm going to show you how to do a few different roofs. Click on the push-pull tool, drag it up the height of the roof. Make it whatever height you like. Then if you want your roof to extend out over your building, you're going to need to go all the way around, typing in how far out you want it to extend on each side. You normally wouldn't have a roof that's the exact width of the building, so I would actually do that all the way around. Now, with one sort of roof that you could do from here, you could leave it as a flat roof. If you want to go down a bit lower, you could then use the offset tool to make like a little gutter and lower that down, that middle bit down a little bit. Make a little flat roof. You could make it a green roof. I'm going to do a basic pitched roof. You can draw two lines on one end and push either end through, all the way through till it disappears. Should just disappear, don't know why it's not. Push it all the way through. You have a normal pitched roof. Okay, another type of roof that you could draw is a curved roof. Which you can then push all the way through to make a curved roof. You could also do a scaling roof with a single angle, like so. I'm going to be really clever. You can actually do oops. A roof that actually goes to one peak in the centre. lots of ways you could do this. This is just the first thing I thought of. Once you've added the finishing touches to your house, I like to add lots of green building design features such as solar panels. I've added a green roof and some water tanks on the side. There's also a little garden bed in the front on the deck.